up, everybody? Today I want to teach you about how to fuel your body for working out, specifically for high intensity interval training. Now I'm just coming back from a high intensity class, so no judgment, I'm a little sweaty. But as I'm coming back, 10:45, I'm looking at my watch and thinking, okay, it's not lunchtime, but I do need to fuel my body. I need a good snack. So what are we gonna have? So let's talk about that. And before I do though, you're gonna need to understand a little bit about how the body works when it comes to fuel and exercise. So as we exercise, or even throughout the day, our body will take sugar from our blood sugar, sorry that term, and put it into the exercising muscle. Simple, I'm not going too deep, and allows it to use that sugar for fuel for the muscle to contract. I'm not going deeper than that, okay? So the reality is if you're going into an exercise, give an example, without any fuel, your blood sugars are low. And then your body goes in and grabs more, and then you plummet. Have you ever had that experience during a workout that you're just like beyond fatigued and you're just, I just can't get through this workout, or you actually get quite shaky? That's a blood sugar thing. That tells you that you either didn't have the right combination of food before you worked out, or there's been too long of a gap and your sugars are low to begin with. Okay, so know that your body will take sugar out of the blood, put it into the muscle cell for contraction. So that's one form of fuel, carbohydrates. When it comes to fuel for the body, your body will either choose carbohydrates that we eat or fat on the body. Eating and converting, like the fat that we eat, for your body to convert that for fuel, it takes a lot of time and energy, and the same thing for protein. It can convert it, but it's not an instant reaction like carbohydrates. So just know that, I'll get to this, carbohydrates is a good fuel source. Anyway, sidestepping here. But the point is when we exercise, your body will either choose carbohydrates for fuel or it'll choose fat. And how intense your workout is will determine which fuel source it uses, okay? So let's talk about your heart rate and your breath. This goes into knowing what you're using for fuel. When you exercise, in order for your body to convert carbs for fuel, it's a quick conversion. It actually doesn't need a whole lot of help there. And its carb is in your system. Like if you just had a carb and you have sugar in your blood from that carb, it's a quick conversion. It's instant, mostly. However, if you're saying, I have weight loss as a goal, so I really want my body to use fat for fuel, that's not an instant process. In order for your body to convert fat for fuel, oxygen needs to be present. So if you're exercising, I know you've heard the term fat zone or fat burn zone, a little aged, but the reality is, this is what we're talking about. In order for your body to convert fat for fuel, you need to make sure that oxygen is present and available, meaning you're breathing in, you're breathing out, you're not too high out of breath, you're in a nice, good zone, nice aerobic zone we call. And in that aerobic zone, because you're allowing your body to breathe in and breathe out and supply it with lots of oxygen, your body will have the ability in time and as you're going along to convert fat for fuel. And there you go, and for muscle contraction. So putting that out there. However, if you exercise and you're in that high intensity, constantly, what we call anaerobic threshold or pure anaerobic out of breath zone, that means you're lacking oxygen for your exercise. So your body will grab carbohydrates as a better fuel source, and some of the carbohydrate fuel, I'll say or glucose or glycogen that's already in the muscle for quick fuel, okay? The problem with these two is that quick carbohydrate fuel, you don't have a lot of it and it will run out. Fat fuel, depending on what our bodies look like, we tend to have more fuel available. So with that in mind, what do you need to eat before and after workout? So if you're just doing a low-key, pretty simple exercise, maybe doing a little strength training at the gym, not saying that that's not hard, but your heart rate's not gonna be through the roof too much, too often. You wanna make sure that you do have a little carbohydrate about an hour and a half before your workouts. It's not sitting in your belly, it's had some digestion time. But make sure it hasn't been 3 hours since you eaten either, because you're gonna crash. Short story there. The reality is you need some carbohydrates. Your body can grab that as a quick fuel when needed for those intense moments, but you need to make sure that that carbohydrate doesn't enter your system too quickly and then it's gone again. So you need to combine that carbohydrate with a little protein and a little fat to kind of calm or slow the digestion a little bit. So that acts like this. Carbohydrate breaks down, your blood sugars go up, Then the fat and protein actually slows that digestion so that up goes that wave of sugars, and then it stabilizes. Then your body's able to grab the sugar from the blood and you'll gradually come down. Okay, does that make sense? And then you'll have some of that carbohydrate available for fuel, quick, aggressive moments of training. Okay? But let's compare, let's say you just grab a banana and go, okay, blood sugars are going up. We are good. But the problem is there's nothing to stabilize that. And so your body will take sugar out of the blood, and actually it'll take it out really aggressively because it goes too high. And then your insulin source comes in and says, oh, too much all at once. So not only are you taking sugar out of the blood for exercise, but your body's taking a little bit more than it needs for safety purposes. And then you'll go up, grab, drop. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I had a banana or cookies. I've had that with a client. And then they're like, man, ooh, I'm dying. Because sugars went up, but what comes up will come down, and will come down quick. The faster the sugars rise, the faster they will drop. So remember, before workout, make sure you've got some fuel in your body. Never work out on an empty stomach, and I'm not gonna get into intermittent fasting here because that's a whole nother ballgame. However, we talk about fuel sources. Have some form of carbohydrate and make sure you've got some protein and even a little bit of fat, little, not a lot. Fat will really slow it down. But a little bit of fat or protein to stabilize those sugars and help to elongate that process for your blood sugars. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so then let's flip side into the fat. So we got fat sitting in our belly and sitting on our butt and our thighs and everywhere else we got it, wherever we got it, maybe under our chin, wherever it is. So we're like, great, that's all good, but how do I get my body to use the fat for fuel? And this goes back to the talk test. You do need to make sure that you've got carbs, because no matter how much fat you want your body to use for fuel, it will always choose carbs first. So you do have to make sure for those quick aggressive moments and for overall feeling good, you need a little bit of carb in your system with the protein and fat so that you have those quick let's get going and stabilizing moments. But during those moments of working out, yes, if you keep your heart rate to medium, like so you can still breathe fairly well, you're not gasping, and the longer your workout is, the more your body will tap into fat for fuel. And this is why things like spin classes are a great idea, or HIIT classes, because what they do is they spike your heart rate so you get anaerobic threshold, getting out of breath. So, we're not using fat for fuel anymore, but we are maximizing our calorie output. And then we're gonna drop again and get back into the fat zone, stabilize, and then we're gonna spike our calorie, and then we're gonna come back into fat zone. This is why HIIT training is so awesome, because it maximizes how much calorie you're gonna burn in a short time, but it allows you to kind of tip in that fat burn anaerobic department. So you get a little bit of everything. High calorie output, but fat burn as well. Does that make sense? It's a big, like when I wanted to talk about this today, I was like, ooh, how do I tackle this topic? So it's really tricky to understand, but the key points you need to get from this is before workout, make sure you eat. And you eat within an hour, hour and a half before the workout. Just don't work out on an empty stomach. If it's been longer than 2 hours since you've had food and you're about to work out, just a few bites, like just something. I like some of those, I'll be careful I say that, some of these energy protein combo bars, because they give you a little bit of sugars, good healthy sugars, like I love a LAR bar. Because LAR bar has the sugars you need before and after workout. I'll talk on that. But it also has a little bit of protein and fat to stabilize. So they're great on the go. Just not an advertisement there. Okay, so that makes sense. So let's go to the after. Interesting thing about the after is the fuel you need before is very, very similar to the fuel you need after. Because when we talk about the blood sugars, as you work out, your blood sugars, guess what happens? They're dropping. Either dropping really quick if you didn't eat it right, or they're just dropping. And it takes on average for your blood sugars to drop in any given day around the 2 hour mark, but if you're exercising, your blood sugars can drop a lot quicker than 2 hours from start point. So you need to make sure that two things happen. One, you get some sugar in there. Watch what I say. I didn't say chocolate bars or candies or gummy bears. I'm careful about that. But you do need to get some sugar in the blood, and you do need to get some protein back and available for recovery and repair and cell regeneration, okay? So what you ate before, a combo of carbs and some protein, whatever, it can be a similar idea, a little bit of carb, but a highlight on the protein, okay? Either way, you need that shift between carb and protein before and after. But I might trade what it is more specifically. So for example, let's say I get up for an early class. Piece of toast with natural peanut butter. Got your carb, got a little bit of protein and fat, awesome. Okay, early in the morning, no problem. After the class though, I might lean more for a protein smoothie with fruit. Remember I said sugar? Remember I said sugar, no gummy bears or anything? When I mentioned sugar, you need to look for something that can quickly digest and break down to get your blood sugars back up so you don't hit that hunger mode or crash later. But you need to choose nutritionally beneficial sugars. And what am I talking about? Natural source, fruit, honey, those sort of things, okay? So one of my favorite after workout snacks would be a mini protein smoothie. Like I said, I'll have my protein in there, a little bit of fat too because it stabilizes, and I'll have my fruit of choice, protein, fruit, a little bit of fat. That way I'm getting all of the above. The protein is easily broken down and digested quickly. The fruit is broken down and digested quickly. We've got a good combination and I'm feeling good. And I want to give you a quick warning here. If you don't refuel your body within about 45 minutes after workout, and most people say, I'm not really hungry right after. Just wait for it. Because when it does hit, it hits. I don't know if you've ever had that, I'm good, and all of a sudden you're just ravenous, and then you just can't, and you're reaching for the and you're grabbing. That is your blood sugars taking a dive, and now your body's communicating with you. That's one example. Or do you ever go, let's say you're trying to eat really, really well. You finish your workout, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna eat really well. I'm trying to lean up, so I'm gonna have a chicken salad. And don't get me wrong, great choice. But how is your body going to convert that for quick sugar fuel? It's not getting any sugar from the chicken unless you put fruit in the salad, possible. There's no sugar in your blood. So your body gets the protein, it's ready to repair, but it's going, where's the sugar? I am dying. And so you'll feel okay for a while, and then you'll go, I got the munchies. I see this a lot at night with my evening clients because they're trying to watch their carbohydrates at night. So they're like, oh, don't have the carbs, it's evil at night. And then, not so much, that's just what they're saying. And then they go to eat the chicken salad because they're like, I'm doing really good. And then all night they're like, I'm having the munchies, and they're just throwing stuff in their mouth, and they just can't, it's a nightmare. So even if it doesn't necessarily sound normal, they go home, have a chicken salad. Let's say they're preparing. While they're preparing, I'm like, throw 5 or 6 grapes in your mouth. Maybe before the workout you had a half an apple or something, then go ahead and have the other half. Sounds weird, you're not eating it with dinner, put it in your salad if you want. But all you're doing is replacing your sugar. That's all you're doing. And then go ahead and have that chicken salad. You will notice a huge difference. The munchies will be gone. You'll notice you'll be more satisfied. And I often question this to clients. And I ask you this, have you ever gone to work out and you have your really clean meal? You eat it and then you feel, what's the word? You're full, but not satisfied. Have you ever had that feeling? That is what I'm talking about. That is your body saying, okay, I am physically full, but you didn't give me what I actually needed in combination. How am I gonna do this? And then you're gonna start getting the munchies later. That's your body communicating with you. You get better at listening and knowing. So, summing this all up, because I kind of went all over the place. I was like, I don't know how to teach this quick, but the point is, when you're eating for exercise, you need to make sure you eat within an hour and a half before you exercise to make sure that you have fuel in your blood. Your body can convert for quick fuel so that it doesn't feel threatened, and it can start to convert fat for fuel too, depending on type of exercise. And just make sure you have a similar type combo after. Maybe you don't go as heavy on the carb, you go quicker sugar more, like fruit. Have your protein after. So you can see those sort of connections there. And then just remember your timelines. Don't wait too much before and too much after. Your body needs fuel, so don't procrastinate that. Food is fuel, people. Eat. It's okay. It's about how much you eat, what time you're eating, and the right combinations. That's really going to play into it working well for you. And then remember, depending on the type of exercise you do, you might need more carb than less. And I often say, throughout the day in general, including fueling yourself, this all wraps around the point of everyday nutrition counts. For the days you're not exercising, it matters. So I always say this, the less active you are, the less carbohydrate fuel you'll need. The more active you are, the more carbohydrates you need in your day, but within reason. Our body's really good at converting and storing, so be careful. Carbs are not evil. We need them. We just need to balance it out better and know when, how much, and why. So if you have any other questions, please message me, comment. I do nutrition consulting, I do meal plans, I do at-home training as well as in the gym. So don't hesitate to contact me and let me know how I can help you. And as my slogan, I like to say, eat well, be active, enjoy life. Take care, everybody, and have a good day. Bye.